Today we're going to learn how to get to the games section of Classics for Kids. First, you go to the www.classicsforkids.com website. Then you come over to the games section. If you click on this games section, you'll see 4 games. Let's go to Note Name. You'll see a separate screen pop up. It does not get bigger, but it will cover up the rest of the page. Now, you need to name each of the dancing notes. The first one is an A. Then we have C. And even if I know that's an E, if I try to put something else, it does not let me. Now we go to the next one. And you just keep dragging and dropping them into the place. Let's learn another game. Coming over to Rock and Rhythms. So here, you saw me make it big. Then we come down here to the start. And you hear him. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm using my space bar. I keep listening for his drum. Now let's see if we get something wrong.
Don't rush.
Oop, didn't like that.
Did you make it?
1, 2, rest. So you have to listen for when the rests come in. Rest. Ta. Think of your TTs and tas in your head. Ta. Rest. Rest. Ta. And now you've gotten to Cool Rhythm Master. If you keep going, you can make it all the way to Rockin' Rhythm Master. Type in your name, and you see I'm typing Mrs. Morris. Then, if I want to print, I would then print. However, right now, I'm not going to print. But that is what it would look like. Now, I'm going to close out of that game, and I'll go over to Compose Your Own Music. Again, if I open up, now it's a large size. I now have 4 measures, and I'm in the beginner level here. For the beginning level, I just have certain notes. Whole note, half note, quarter note. You'll see these are all in the same section. In the other section, you have rests, and you have half rest and quarter rest. So, if I want to compose something, I take the whole note, and let's even start with a whole note. You'll see it turns green near the center of the measure, because that's where it would look. If I keep going down, it automatically adds a ledger line for me for middle C. If I'm going up, let's add in a D, and let's add in 2 more quarter notes to fill out that measure. It will automatically tell you the best place for that. We'll add in another half note, just going up the scale here. We can add 2 half notes into that measure. And we'll round it out by putting a whole note there and end up the triad. So, now, once I've done this, I can play it. Then you can send it to your friend, or you can even send it to me. Let's say I want to start over, but that seemed really easy. So let's go over to the advanced side. Now I've got my dotted rhythms, and I've got more rest options. If I need a visual aid, it will tell you how many beats you've already added in. This is the musical math that we do in class. So, it also shows you, it divides up with the green lines where you can put your note. So let's start this up here on B like we're playing a recorder song. We're going to add a quarter note down here and a quarter note. Now, let's add in a dotted quarter note. And if we're going to add up to the 2, then we're going to add in an 8th rest. It'll show you where you can go. And that will fit in. Oops, it should. There it is. And we come back up over here. And we're just going to put some of these notes down. Add a half rest. And we'll simplify it down with a whole note. So now I still have 4 beats in a measure. If I want to hear how it sounds. You know what? I don't like how that one sounds, so I'm going to move that down. Now let's see it again. I like that one. So I can send it to myself, send it to a friend, or even send it to your music teacher. Okay, let's click out of this game. And the final game in Classics for Kids is the Composer Time Machine, which is more a tool than the actual. This is sort of like what we do in class and what we had on the one wall. So you can click on the composer that you want to study or on the period. And let's scoot on over here to Beethoven, one of our favorites. It'll tell you on the timeline where he is in the timeline. It'll also show you up here the historical events, like when the American Revolutionary War began in 1775, which is 5 years after Beethoven was born. Or if we keep on going down, we know that Kentucky became a state in 1792. When he was 22 years old. So all of this is going on during Beethoven's life. Napoleon proclaimed the Emperor of France, and Indiana even became a state. 1796, the smallpox vaccination was invented. So all of these things happened during his life. If we want to listen to his music, we can come over to the left-hand side and play, hopefully, the music for Beethoven. If that doesn't pop up here, it'll play at school. There we go. You can even move that one out of the way once it starts. And then you can also click on the parts that have the shows. Takes a little bit of time to get going there. And there we go. So you can listen to one of his symphonies. This one happens to be Symphony number 8. If you go, well, that's cool, but let's find out more about him, you can always click on the shows, and then you're going to go into the Classics for Kids site recordings,
See, you wouldn't want to show that side off the
and hear the original radio show. Now this
Hello,
music
I'm Naomi
is just the
Lewin.
introduction,
Welcome to Classics for Kids.
but that is definitely Beethoven. And you'll hear many of the
That may
stories
be
that
the
we
most
go over in
recognized
class.
piece of classical music ever written, the opening to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. And the man who composed it, Ludwig van Beethoven, may be the most important composer who ever lived. Ludwig van Beethoven was born in Bonn, Germany in 1770.
But if you want to find out more about Beethoven, you'll have to take some time on your own. Okay, that is how you explore the games on Classics for Kids. We'll look at the activity pages and other parts of this website later. Have fun! We'll see how that happens.